So what's a great bag to use for one bag travel? In this video, we're gonna be taking a look at the GORUCK GR2, the 40-liter version. This thing is basically indestructible, is 40 liters, and it's about the biggest size bag that you can use as a carry-on. So let's check it out. Hey, what's up? It's Tom from Pack Hacker coming at you from my hotel in Brisbane, Australia, also known as Brizzy. So before we get into the review, let's talk a little bit about GORUCK as a brand. It was founded by an ex-Green Beret named Jason McCarthy. He's been creating these nearly indestructible bags for a while now. And he also uses them for events that he likes to put on called rucking events. Rucking is basically when you fill up this bag with a bunch of weight and then you go out and exercise, you walk around. I think there's even some obstacle courses. I don't use this for rucking myself, but I have been using it for travel, and it's been my exclusive bag that I've been using for the past year plus. So definitely had a ton of experience with this bag. It's basically my home. One quick note is that I have the 40-liter version. It also comes in a 36-liter version that's gonna work well if you're a little bit shorter or have a little bit less to carry. I'm 6'2" in height, and it fits really well on my back. Here at Pack Hacker, we're focused mainly on travel, so we're gonna break this review down into 3 sections. We're gonna focus on the details of the bag, then we're gonna focus on the packing and organization system, and finally, the usage and durability. Let's check it out. So first, let's take a look at the details of the bag. The GORUCK GR2 is a tank. It's super heavy. GORUCK has it listed at 4.75 pounds. The overall dimensions of it are going to be 12.5 by 22 by 9 inches. And this is about the perfect size for almost the largest carry-on that you wanna go. You're getting on the airplane, no stress, you just get on, toss this thing under your seat, sit down, take a snooze. This bag is not submersible, but it is pretty close to waterproof. I've had it out with me in the rain countless times, and it's been okay. No water really gets through there. This thing is made with Cordura, super strong, and we'll get into the durability on that a little bit later. As far as the look goes, it is a little bit boxy on your back when it's filled up, and it does have that square shape, but it has a low profile. And despite being created by an ex-military guy, it doesn't look too tactical. It's not camo, it's not green, but it still has some of that durability that you would expect from a bag like that. So that makes it a really great choice for one bag travel if you want something that's never gonna break. The MOLLE webbing across this bag makes it very extendable. So we've added a sternum strap as well as a hip strap that's gonna help distribute that weight. And sometimes we also use this with the GORUCK GR2 padded field pocket, which you can see in another review that we've done. All right, so we're on to the organization system. I've used this system for the past year and I've tweaked it and changed it along the way. It's by no means the best system, but it's what works for me. Here's the main compartment. It's very roomy. The top is lined with MOLLE webbing. You've got a pouch down here, solid pouch, sort of an elastic fit here so you can tuck things inside of there. Some people put their laptops in there. I just kind of put anything extra in there that's not fitting in any other place of the bag. I don't really utilize it since it's at the bottom and so out of the way. But how I pack this thing up is I've got my sandals that I just kind of throw down here. I have an Eagle Creek packing cube, Spectre cube here, a smaller one. And then I have the Sea to Summit Cordura stuff sack that I have here. All this has clothing in them. Find it's nice to keep these organized in here inside of the pack itself. Tripod that I travel with, so I stick that right here. It's being used right now. And then anything else that's a little bit larger than I'm taking. So I have some almonds here. I put it up here, can be accessed quickly. You know, if I get hungry, just grab some. On the top of the main compartment, we've got 2 mesh pockets here. One's about 2/3 the size of the bag. Another's about 1/3 of the size, both secured by zippers. You're gonna notice here that I have the Gerber GDC zip hex and zip driver attached to these, kind of doubling as a zipper pull. Super nice to have these. They kind of spin around and you can select different sizes of hex or screwdriver that you need. Flathead and Phillips, and you just kind of pull them off here when you need to. And when they're not in use, you just pop them back on and then there you go, boom, it's a zipper pull. So in this main bottom compartment, I usually throw in my microfiber towel, first aid kit, because safety first. Zip that up. And then at the top, I'm gonna put my compressible water bottle, put a headband, some random tissues, got a spork too. Zip it up. So the key to packing this bottom part is to keep everything flat. So we've got a layer here of packing cubes. It kind of creates a nice flat platform. Then again on top, we've sort of methodically laid this stuff out so it stays nice and flat. All right, let's get onto the outer pouch. The secondary compartment here opens up clamshell, just like the first compartment. And let's start up here by this pocket here. This is about the same size as a GR2 padded field pocket that I review in another video. So let's see what I put in here. It's gonna be 2 mesh pockets, one larger than the other. So I'll put my passport and a sleeping mask in the bigger compartment. And then I'll put my earplugs, this friendly little whale that I travel with, and the Gerber shard into the other compartment. And then some free-floating items. I've got a deck of cards and this Hutu battery pack that I'll toss in there as well. Zip that up. Now this gets a little bit bulky, especially if the main part of the bag is full. So again, that flat packing strategy is gonna keep it nice and organized. We'll start here. There is a mesh pocket that is the same size as the one inside of the bag. So this is about 2/3 the size of the bag. I usually don't put anything in here. I've just got a compass attached to the zipper here because you never know. So I just kind of keep that tucked in inside. And I use this space for 3 more packing cubes. So toiletry bag, top kit goes there. I will put my little electronics bag, well, usually up here so I can grab it a little bit easier from the top. And then I've got just a couple other miscellaneous items, a notebook, sunglasses, etc. here. So again, kind of keeping it flat right for this section. We've got another 2/3 mesh pocket here. I usually toss my MacBook Pro charger in here. Just kind of honestly stuff it in like that. I've become way too lazy to roll it up every time and I'm taking it out a couple times a day. So sort of just keep this pocket dedicated for that. It keeps it nice and snug. Of course, on the top of the outer pocket, we've got the GORUCK GR2 built in the USA. Up here on this zipper pull, I've got a Prometheus Lights flashlight that's a quick release. So anytime I need to grab it, just pull it off like that. Boom, ready to go. I keep it up here because I always know where it is. And if I open my bag in the dark or something, maybe I'm camping, something of that nature, it's right here ready to go and I can kind of use it to scan around in my pack, grab what I need, or yeah, quickly pull off the keychain. It's nice. On this top pocket here, I end up putting in a couple quick grabs. So pen and pencil for those custom forms or those bright ideas that I gotta grab, you know, on a cocktail napkin or put in my notebook. Boom, those go up there. Really easy to access it. It's probably one of the easiest pockets to access. I only like to have one currency in my wallet at the same time. So if I'm in transit, kind of pop the extra cash in here, whatever. Keeps it easy. All right, on the outside of the pack here, we have a room for a Velcro patch, 3 by 2 inches. We've got the Pack Hacker one. I don't really use this pocket much. I'll use it during airport security if I want to tuck my phone and my wallet in there to kind of get through security a little bit faster. But I find that if I, lay everything kind of flat in here and the bag is full, this pocket, you don't have a lot of room in there anyways, because it sort of works against that flat packing strategy. On the MOLLE right here, I've just got this carabiner here, nothing super fancy, but nice to hang shoes off of or wet clothing or a wet towel, just as you're kind of walking through, let something dry. That's typically how I use it. Also sort of doubles as a handle. So if I'm trying to get my bag up really quick and these straps aren't handy or this loop at the end is not handy, just kind of grab that. On the back, we have this bomb-proof padded laptop compartment slash water bladder compartment. So that's just gonna zip down like this and we can put our laptop right in. Try not to put too much pressure on here. I try not to toss the bag around and just be mindful of the weight and where it's being distributed against the laptop. Of course, at the end of the day, if you have any pressure on it at all, It definitely could be affected. Taking a look at the shoulder pads here, they're super padded and reinforced. I've also got this sternum strap installed here as well. Handle at the top here is super nice. I don't think it'll ever break, and if it does, you're backed by the GORUCK Scars guarantee. The zippers are very high quality. They're YKK zippers, and they have some heat shrinked paracord to help as zipper pulls. So boom, boom. I also love that the zippers inside of here are different colors. So on the inner pocket, we have the green paracord that's used. On the outer pocket, we've got this darker green / gold that's used. So it's nice to identify those separate zippers. And of course, on the outside here, we've got the black paracord that's used. Looks the sharpest on the outside. All right, so let's talk about the usage and the durability of this bag. So this has been my primary bag for the last year. I've taken it in cold climates, warm climates, through rain, through snow, through the desert, basically everywhere. And it's held up super well in all these conditions. The thing is very heavy, but I wanted to trade that for durability. I didn't want anything to break as I was on the road. I wanted everything just to work, and it totally has. For a quick pack hack, there's a company called Manal. They make another bag. They created an entire carry-on chart of separate airlines and what their restrictions are. So if you're ever nervous about that, go ahead and check this chart out. It's pretty awesome. Overall, the condition of this bag is very good. On some areas of the molly, it started to fray a little bit, and I want to go in there with a lighter or like an X-Acto knife and pull those off, but wanted to let them develop so I could kind of get this full review. The color has also faded considerably. I wish I had a new one to compare it to, but it's like a light black gray type of thing now. It used to be like completely almost jet black, but it's been through thick and thin, multiple climates, been sitting out in the sun, been sitting out in the rain. Some of that's to be expected, and I kind of like that it's faded. It showed that it's been used. My one gripe with the bag is the laptop sleeve. I had some pressure marks develop on the screen of my laptop within the first 6 months of me traveling, and they never really went away. So I started researching, doing some reading, and I ended up landing on this Kydex frame sheet mod, which is basically a reinforcer of that back sheet. It makes it a little bit more stiff. It's stiffer than what GORUCK puts in there to begin with. So I've found that if you put the laptop screen that way, it's gonna help quite a bit. And that Kydex mod, there's a link to that video as well if you're curious to learn more. Now, that doesn't mean that your laptop is always gonna be safe in here. If you have a lot of weight in here, it's always gonna be getting smashed somehow. That's just inevitable unless you have like a hard shell, heavy chamber to put it in. But another feature that I do like with the GORUCK bag is that it does have a false bottom. So when your laptop is in there, if you drop it down pretty quickly, it's gonna kind of hit at 2 levels. Keeps things, in here a little bit safer. Very padded. Again, you've got the Cordura, super great. It's basically slash proof. If a thief wanted to kind of like slash this quick and grab some stuff in the bag, it's gonna be hard for them to do since the material on the outside is so strong. And again, with all this stuff, it is all backed with the GORUCK Scars lifetime guarantee. So if anything goes wrong, you send the bag into them, they'll fix it for you. Obviously, this doesn't do you any good if you're on the road and it's your only bag. But if you take a stop home or whatever, or you travel in more incremental bursts, you can kind of get this fixed along the way. But after a year of hard use, basically nothing has gone wrong. I may have voided the warranty with my Kydex mod, but what are you gonna do? Thanks for taking a look at the GORUCK GR2. This thing is perfect for one bag travel and can be used even as an everyday carry bag. If you want something a little bit bigger, maybe you wanna go grab groceries with it, whatever. I've had a lot of personal great experiences with it. We would definitely recommend it here at Pack Hacker. As long as you're willing to go with a little bit more weight for an incredible amount of durability, it's going to be a really great pack for you. So there's going to be a link to packhacker.com to take a look at the full review and see a little bit more details, as well as a link to purchase if you'd like to. So thanks for taking a look at this review. We'll see you in the next one. This is pretty comfortable.